Hey, it's Josh with Kanzel, and in this tutorial video, our friends over at Torchlight Marketing are going to show you how you can grow your business and reach more customers through a Google business profile. They're going to walk you through everything you need to know on how to do it. Let's go.
So what we're going to be focusing on today is your Google business profile. It is the one foundational aspect for any marketing strategy, and that's this thing right here. This is how Google shows. When you have a Google business profile, this is called the knowledge graph, or I call it the knowledge panel. When someone does a search for your business, or they're searching for your name, if your business is your name, if Google knows exactly who they're talking about, this is the knowledge panel that shows up. If you don't have a Google business profile, you won't get one of these. Not having a Google business profile is as bad as not having a website. So whether you're running advertising on something like KV Core, or you're doing your social media play-by-play, doing a walkthrough on videos for YouTube, or like I was saying earlier, one of those the latest dance on TikTok.
Can I repeat what you just said, Josh? I want everyone to type that right now. He just said, you not having a Google business profile is as bad as not having a website. And not only that, there's ways that he's going to talk about of how to boost this business profile. It's not just having it. And he's going to give you the exact ways of what we're going to do. And we need to work together as a team to give each other reviews. Keep going, Josh.
There we go. And that was another tip that we're going to talk about later on too. So you're already foreshadowing in the future there. A Google business profile is necessary if you want Google to have 100% confidence about the key data points of your business. So when we look a little bit closer at this one of Lake Realty, look at the things that are built in there. We have a website link. We have a call button, which is also this phone number down here. We have our operating hours, our physical address, and then there are some services like we're claiming to be a real estate agency. All of these things without a Google business profile, if we're just having Google look at our website, Google is a software program reading, trying to guess, and figure out, well, what do you do? What are you all about? This is how we give Google that confidence. There's also things like photos up here, and photos could be your face. A lot of people use their face on some of their realty ads, but other ones are what you're selling. You might excel in large mansions. You might excel in the expensive middle of the city apartments, those kinds of things. So I can't say it often enough. Google business profile is huge. Whether you're going for an SEO play or you're going for an advertising play, Google looks at both of those. If you neglect this, it's going to hurt your SEO. If you neglect this when you're advertising, it's going to make your advertising more expensive to punch just as much as someone else who's doing advertising with a healthy Google business profile. So we're going to go over a couple of things. One of those is claiming, verification, and maintenance. Maintenance meaning you just don't get it and set it and forget it. And that's where things get a little difficult, is that claiming and verification process. It all starts here with this web address, business.google.com. That's where you need to go. That should be put in your notes or typed in the chat, business.google.com. You will be going there often. And I have a couple of tips, and I have this slide showing up twice just to give you an idea of what we're going to look for. We need to fill it out. So when you're filling out your business profile, you want to put in a business address, an office address. You cannot put in a PO box. You can't rent a virtual office address at like Mailbox, etc. Google does not like that. So you need to put in a real address, or else you're going to get black flagged as a virtual office. You can't. So some people say, well, I want Google to see that I'm in multiple cities. So I have my office here in one city, and then I will go get a mailboxes, etc. address somewhere else, and I'll register that location. They will flag it, and it won't work. You'll be black flagged. So when it comes to requesting and going through your postcard stuff, we'll address that one in a second. I see the questions going up, and I definitely want to address that. And then it takes maintenance. So you need to keep it up to date. If your office hours change, if your location changes, you need to update those. You also want reviews there. If you don't have a Google business profile, people can't give you a review easily. Then they need to, there's one other place, and that's Facebook. But we want Google to know that you're a good real estate agent. We want Google to be confident about you. That's why you need the reviews on your Google business profile. And it also has posts. So I know that Canzel offers all these services to help you succeed. And one of those is social media content. Since you already have this content curated and given to you and you're choosing to put things on Facebook, I recommend about twice a month, put a post in Google business profile. Why are we doing that? Because we're raising our hand saying we're in business, Google, we're operating, and that will help Google know. We call it stimulating the internet algorithms. We just want Google to know that you're in business. The problem is a lot of companies have websites that they paid their internet bill for 5 years in advance, and the website's still up, but the company died from COVID. How does Google tell these businesses that no longer are running, but they still have a website versus the ones that are? And that's by the posts, that's by getting reviews, those little things that show that your heartbeat is still going. So let's go in specifically on registering. So again, Google Business Profile, and I got a demo for you. I got a couple pictures here, but if you go to Google Business Profile and you're not logged in with a Google account, you're going to see a screen like this. It's going to have you sign in or manage now, and when you log in with your Google account, if you've never registered, then the screen's going to look more like this. Now you have your Google account logged in. You have this place to search for your business, and you're going to type in a business search. When you're typing in your business, it will do its best guess to figure out where you're looking at and if that's your business or not. And it's okay if your business doesn't show up. That's fine, because you can click and the one of your business name of what you're typing in for your search and create a business with this name. And that's how you would create a new entry. If one exists, but the address is wrong, you can't verify it because they're going to be mailing a postcard to the old address. So you might need to create a new one. I recommend to take the work of trying to get a hold of a previously existing one, if you can, a previously existing one of yours. If you had an old one that got neglected or lost, because there's probably some valuable information there, especially if there's reviews. We want to carry those. So let's dive in. We're going to do a quick. Oh, and then this is what the screen is. Once when you are here and you found your business, we're not talking about the verification process. This is what a management screen looks like. And here's all the tools and all the data points that you'd update. So let me take you through an actual one. We'll have some fun with this. So here is the screen I was showing you on what happens when you're not logged in yet. After you log in, this is the sign-in name, and then you're going to put in a business to actually log in and edit something. So we played with a couple of them, like Lake Realty. If someone wants to chat their business name, it'd be interesting just to do a quick search. I'm more than happy to try it and see what happens. All right, let's see. Preview Homes.
Sure, what do you need?
LLC. Okay, and what city is Preview Homes in, Lucky? In Gainesville. Okay, so I'm just going to say Preview Homes, Gainesville. Okay, so I don't see it showing anything there. So it looks like to me, either it had a different name or Google doesn't think it exists. So in this case, I would click create a business. And then this won't actually really create the business yet, but then I could say, yep, I'm really doing that, continue, and we start building out the profile. So that's how you would start with those. So if we go back here, we actually have a full profile here. And this is one of the things I want to demonstrate is when you get in the claiming process, whether you're starting from scratch or if you already have one, this is your management screen. And on here in home, if you do not have your business properly registered or verified, it's going to have a box here to verify your address. If you change your address, if we go into info here, and if we change our address, Google is going to ask you to do a verification process as well on your address change. And what I was seeing here is some people were saying, well, I haven't gotten the postcard yet. So that happens. I actually have worked with other companies that have had that process. It's a 5-day count. So one, it is a little postcard and it looks like junk mail. So if you have someone getting your mail for you, it looks like junk mail. The other problem is that if you don't ever check that address and it's forwarding, a lot of those little postcards normally don't get forwarded very often. So you need to check that physical address. That it needs to be that address, and it's okay. You can actually your home address as well if you want. But but if you're forwarding it, if you're using the USPS mail forwarding service, there's a lot of mail that they won't forward. So you got to be careful of that. The other part is be diligent. So when I was working with another customer, they were using a forwarding address. I told them, no, you need to stop forwarding. You need to drive to the office and open up the mailbox and get the mail at that location if you want to register this address. And then since it was a postcard and there's the automated services, we actually had to do it 5 times. I clicked it and I talked to them, 4 days later, did you get the postcard? 5 days later, did you get it? No, I never got it. I sent it again. And we had to do it 5 times for it to finally go through. But if you don't validate your listing, you may as well not have one. It is not helpful at all. So validating is extremely important. Okay, I got the chat up here if anyone has any questions about that. But let's talk about editing our profile and filling it out. We want to fill out everything. So on here, this is posts. This is the social media equivalent of putting in a post. And one thing that when COVID came out, Google created an update, a COVID-19 update. So when you create your first post, you would choose your type. And it just might be a news thing, an update like, and this is where as a realtor, if I was selling, I would make posts on every time I'm selling a new house. And every time a house if we have an open house, those are great places to put those. And you can put in some pictures here. So make posts at least 2 a month. Info. In the info, we want to put in everything. We want Google to know as much about our business as we can. And this is one of the key things to be careful of is service areas. So one thing that is interesting, and I think you guys would fall in the same category, is our human tendency to put service area. Oh, well, I'm willing to drive 150 miles in every single direction, especially if I get a big job. So I'm going to put my service area to be something extremely massive. The problem is now you're spreading yourself thin. The more that you're an agent about everywhere, the less you're about an agent about this location. So you need to think about that. Your service area, put in the service area on where you're servicing 85% of the time. We're talking about the majority of the places. Go after that. You're going to be more relevant about having a service area in Charlotte than you're going to have a service area for the whole state. So when people search for realtor near me, Google's going to pick a person that is in that city, next to that person, close to that person, more than they would pick you if you chose the whole state. So
Josh, could you
yes.
expand on the posts? Like, is there anywhere else that they could do posts on, like videos? You said you've got to do maintenance, and yeah, you want to set up your profile, but you want to put different things. Can you give us some more ideas? And are all of that in the post section, or is there anywhere else that is located?
There's some interactive stuff as well. So posts is just a one-way conversation. It's what you're putting on your profile, and people will see it in that knowledge graph if you are posting. The part that we really want is the activity from our customers. If they like working with us, we really want a review. And that's going to be down here in this section. They review, and every time you get a review, you absolutely want to reply. Click that reply button. If it's a 1-star, you better reply still. If it's a 5-star, you better reply. Every time we reply, we are telling that person, your opinion is important to me. And every time we reply, we're telling Google, we're in business. See, we're tracking our reviews. We are letting Google know that we appreciate their system, and we're asking Google for their appreciation back because we're using their system and making their search engine more relevant. So we'd want to post at least twice a month. Because it's only twice a month, it's really easy to find that variety. But the interactions of reviews, and the other one is questions or messages. So when you have, now we don't need live chat in here. That's okay. But a lot of times what you'll see are people asking questions. Restaurants, do you do takeout? People might ask that, or, how spicy can you make this dish for me? In office space or homes, people might be asking things such as, what are your commission rates? Or do you double dip and buy and sell the same home? Those kinds of questions people might ask. And you might think, I do things so awesome, I really wish someone would ask me this key question. And that's where you guys can tag team with each other. Is if someone says, do you work with, do you have a cleaning service? You can clean the house before I get there. Or can you help me stage? Maybe one of the things that you excel at in selling is staging homes. You don't just sell, but you actually keep some extra furniture and you stage all those homes, and you want people to know that as early as possible. What a great thing to mention. So maybe as a realtor and your realtor network, you guys can ask these. You can preload these things by asking each other these key questions, where you can really shine and show what's different and what you do uniquely in the services of real estate that you offer. So asking questions is valuable. And when you log into this, the email address that you register with Google to manage it will get those notifications, those updates. So someone just asked, will Google let you know when you receive a review? Yes, you'll get an email. You will also get an email if someone asks a question and there's a question waiting for you. There's also, for you guys that have smartphones, and I find it hard to believe if no one here doesn't have a smartphone, there is a Google Business app. So you can log in, and your Google Business app in real time will tell you someone left a review or someone asked a question, and see this thing that says turn on chat. That's the Google Business app on your phone. So someone could say, hey, are you there now? I want to check out this house. And you could,
wow, that is awesome. I would definitely download that app, and I would put the turning on the chat